guys, here we are, segment number 3. Canes preview of the game against Georgia Tech, Saturday afternoon, 12 noon on the ACC Network up in Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Without further ado, here's part 2 of Paul Johnson's press conference from Tuesday.
It's hard to say. I mean, I thought he did some good things. He was put in a tough situation. We missed some reads on the option that were big. But you know what? Josh don't get them all right either. So it's like everything else. I mean, the kid's not going to play perfect. I don't expect him to play perfect. Well, that's not true. I do. But it's like but, I mean, I think you have to evaluate the whole thing. And he's a rational kid, and he knows. He can look and see when he did the right thing and when he didn't do the right thing. And you just have to put it behind. It's like I tell our guys all the time. You play each play like it's the last play in the world, and then you forget it. Go to the next one. That's all you can do. As far as I know, yeah, for now. I mean, you know, it'd be pretty hard to lay that all on Scott Blair. Yes. Yeah, which is not the first time he's done that either. So it's less than ideal. But, you know, I mean, usually guys are out there playing for a reason. And if we had a lot of great guys behind them, they would have already played. So it's not as easy as just saying, okay, this guy screwed up, so now we got 4 deep here. It's your turn. If they're going to play, they need to beat them out in practice. They're big, they're fast. They really don't have a weakness if you look. I mean, they got really good defensive line. They've got a guy, Bailey kid is probably a first 5 or 6 pick in the draft, certainly a first round pick. The secondary's good. I mean, they look like Miami. That's what they always have. They always have guys that are big and can run.
Talk about Hankerson and what he brings to the Miami offense.
Well, he's got big play potential, but all their receivers, I think it's the Benjamin kid, number 3. I mean, they can all run. You know, same thing on offense. They got good backs. They got good receivers. I think this quarterback is really going to be a good player. You know, you people might say, okay, wow, you got a backup quarterback, and then you watch him play, and you're like, man, might not have got the best of that bargain. First game he started, they had over 500 yards of offense, and he threw a couple interceptions, but you know, he's got a big arm, and he's mobile and can do some things. He's a very highly recruited kid. He's one of the top quarterback recruits in the country. Well, hopefully it'll be a boost. You know, we've got a lot to play for, and we talked about that at the team meeting on Monday, and hopefully we'll come back and be ready to go. I thought we played hard in Blacksburg. It wasn't a case of effort. We played hard. You know, we screwed some things up that could have made a difference. There's always 4 or 5 plays in every game that are huge, and you never know which ones they are until after the game. And we had our chances, trust me, if you watch the tape. I mean, we had multiple chances to win that game, just like anything. We just, you know, didn't make a play when we needed to.
Was that the best effort you've seen from the team this season?
Probably. We great effort. It was right there. We played pretty hard at North Carolina, too.
Spent a lot of your time on the sideline analyzing the percentage of capacity in the stands, but as you look around the league, there's been some down for Florida State. So 6 already. Clemson has been down. Do you notice that from the sidelines? Do you sense it?
It seemed pretty loud at Clemson to me. You know, they've got a pretty rabid fan base. We have not played at Florida State this year. I can tell you one thing, Blacksburg's pretty loud. You know, we've had the opportunity, I have through the years, to play in front of, you know, probably 95,000 people and in different arenas, and I've never played anywhere it's any louder than Blacksburg was on Thursday night, especially when the game got tight there in the second half. It became really loud. Our guys had a hard time here.
How would you, if coming off the conference championship, how do you rate the way the fans' response has been here for this
In what way, as far as?
support turnout?
Oh, well, we haven't played at home in almost seems like forever, so we'll see. I haven't seen a big difference. I don't know what the numbers are. I haven't seen a big difference in what we drew last year and this year. You know, the home schedule probably in some people's eyes wasn't as good. But I got more to worry about than that. And somebody else, Dan, can worry about that. You know, I mean, it's we've got to try to get ready to play.
Coach, what are your thoughts on having the national championship team on this year?
That's great. I think that's a great accomplishment, and certainly, you know, we're proud of what they did. I wasn't here, and most of these guys, but having coached here for 3 years, I understand what a huge accomplishment that was. I mean, I think it speaks volumes about Coach Ross. I had a chance to know him when I was at Navy. He was the head coach at Army. We played against each other 2 or 3 times. I've always had a lot of respect for him, and you know, I think it's great that they won the championship here.
Y'all prepare a championship race?
No, we didn't.
Coach, you mentioned you talked to the team yesterday about having ready to play for still. Is that something that concerns you, given that we're not mathematically eliminated in the ACC, but obviously a lot of things would have to be factored in?
Yeah.
Championship teams, guys might see an energy drop off because
Well, you don't ever know. You're dealing with young people, and you never know. And part of my job as a coach is to point out what all we got left to play for. And if you're competitive and you want to play, you're going to play no matter what. I mean, that's why you're out there if you're a competitor. But this is new territory for them. I mean, this is new territory for me as a head coach. I was telling somebody yesterday, in 14 years as a head coach, this is the second time that we have not, if it doesn't happen, it would only be the second time we didn't win the conference or at least tie for the championship of what we were playing for in 14 years. At Navy, we were independent, but when I'm talking about the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, which was basically what we were, the number one goal of the team, you know, we won the league all 5 years I was at Southern. We won that 5 out of 6 years, and we either tied or won the thing here the 2 years I'd been here. So it's new territory. I'm not worried about me getting ready to play because I'm competitive and I know what it's about. But I think you have to point out to the guys that, you know, you're still trying to play for bowl eligibility, you're playing for winning season, you're playing for pride. It's like I told them yesterday, revenge is a great motivator for those who care. They spanked us pretty good last year. I hadn't forgotten. I hope they hadn't. So, we'll see.
And here's the thing, here's my take on that, number one. We know we have not won up there since 2004. Something he just said is they're playing for pride and they're playing for revenge after what we did to them last year down in Sun Life Stadium on that Thursday night, week 2. The big difference is this is late in the year. I had concerns about this game going in. Okay, this was a big concern to me. You know, if I had thought the thinking was I thought we were going to be undefeated, maybe be a top 2-3 team in the country coming in with everything on the line. Well, now we have 3 losses. We're barely alive in the ACC race. But it's noon. It's a noon game. I feared if this was a loss, this would be it. But now there's a lot to play for. There is a lot to play for. But now, as much as they have forgotten, we better realize we have to keep the pressure on. We know Shannon's job's on the line. I'll talk more about that in segment 3.